We will now see how we can use the loft command you find up here, and we will create two different parts like these two, and we will use two approaches to create them. So I will start by creating the yellow one. So I will close the scene first and start a new scene. Then we come up here to select the loft wizard, and here we will choose standalone and click next, and we will use 3 cross sections. Type 3 and click next, and we'll use rectangles and straight line, and then we'll click finish. Now we have a profile locator curve here, so I will select the curve, the line here on this side of the midpoint, and then I will double click the value, change to 150 and hit enter. Then we'll click finish shape, and we have the lofted part with 3 cross sections. Then I will click number 2, and we see the preview of the cross section here. So we can use these handles to make some changes, and we can drag the lines or grab the handles and adjust the lines, the position of the lines, and I will also adjust this one. And we can also right click the box number 2 and go to edit cross section, and we see here that I have changed the settings to hide all. Perhaps you have display all, but we will set it to hide all here because we don't want to see the part in the background. Well, you can do any changes you want here in the cross section, but we will remove this line, delete it, and we will also add an arc. We come here to select a 3-point arc, and we will click on this point node or this node, and then we will drag the arc a little bit in this direction and press escape to exit the command, and I will grab this node to drag it along the y-axis, same here, and then I come up here to click finish shape, and it will look like this. And I can also grab this handle to make it even bigger, like so. And I can also go back to the cross section, right click on the box number 2 and go to edit cross section. And here I can use the tribal to move the cross section vertically, and I will move it up perhaps 25 millimeters. And I will also select this axis, and I will left click and hold and drag to rotate the cross section. I will drop it there, type -30 and hit enter. Then I turn off the tribal and click finish shape, and it will look like this. So there are many possibilities to create different parts by using Loft. So this was the first part. So I will create now the second part and will start a new scene. And here we will use a different approach to create the next part. We will use an extrude shape. So I will grab an extrude shape and drop it here in the scene, and we go to the IntelliShape level, and we right drag this green handle, right drag and drop it there and type 90, and we right drag the red handle and we drop it there, type 50, and we click this height handle and type 20 and hit enter. Then we will drag a cylinder and drop it here on the midpoint, and the diameter should be 40 millimeters. So now when we have the cylinder here, I will deselect, and now we see that we have only one part, and we can see that here in the scene browser. If we expand the part, we see that we have 2 features, and it should be like this, otherwise it will not work. So I will select the cylinder in IntelliShape level and turn on the tribal. Select this axis because now we will rotate the cylinder. So we will left click and hold inside the tribal and push, and we'll drop it there and type 90 degrees, and we will grab this handle and push, and we'll drop it there and type 90, and we will grab this handle and drag upward, and we'll drop it there and type 70 and hit enter. And then we turn off the tribal. Now we will connect these two by using a loft. So we come up here and we will select loft, and not loft wizard but loft. And we come over to the properties. We see that we will select a part from the scene. So we will select this box, and in the properties we see that we have to select sections. So this will be section number 1 and section number 2, and they are connected with a loft. But it seems a little bit strange, and that's because these two arrows is pointing toward each other. So I will click this arrow so it will change direction, and now it looks better. Then we'll click OK to confirm the loft command, and they are connected. But we will move the cylinder a little bit. So I will select the cylinder in IntelliShape level and turn on the tribal, and I will grab this handle and push a bit, a couple of millimeters, and then I'll turn off the tribal. And we will do the same with the box down here. Select it in IntelliShape level, turn on the tribal, grab this handle and push downward a couple of millimeters, and then we turn off the tribal. Then we will select the lofted part in IntelliShape level, and we right click number 2, and here we will choose associate with a face. Now we will associate the lofted part with this face on the cylinder. Then we click OK, and they are connected. Then we will select number 1, right click, associate with the face, select the face on the box, and click OK, and it didn't work. Well, we select the box in IntelliShape level and right click and hold this green handle, and we make it a little bit smaller, around 60 millimeters. Now it will work. So the box was too long. So we will select this part in part level and right click, and we go to part properties. And here we see that we can change modeling kernels. And the good thing about IronCAD that there are 2 modeling kernels, Parasolid and ACIS. So I will change to ACIS and we will see what will happen. So I will click OK, and now we have a smoother transition between the cylinder and the block. So in this case I can select the block and right drag this green handle and drop it there and type 150, and now we have even smoother transition between the cylinder and the block. So we can also use the shell part, and we will choose open faces. So I will select this face and this face, and then we come over here and change the thickness to 4 millimeters and click OK. And now we have made a vacuum cleaner nozzle, sort of. Yes, so there are many possibilities to make different parts by using loft command. So it's only your imagination that will set the limit. So I will close this scene, and I will also close this one.